It may have escaped your notice, but recently a vacuum cleaner just like this one and the one down in your basement was sold for $100,000. And here it is, folks.
This work would be a signed work by myself, or would have a letter of authenticity.
It may have escaped your notice, but also a sink went for $121,000 and a pair of urinals for $140,000.
Just the act of spending that money on an object makes them feel that they are collaborating in creating the art history of their time.
So simple when you think about it. This one, a canvas of scrolls done with the wrong end of a paintbrush, bears the imaginative title of Untitled. So simple when you think about it. It's by Cy Twombly and was sold for $2,145,000. And that's dollars, not Twombly's. It may have escaped your notice, it may have escaped your notice, but all of the above and even more unlikely stuff is art. Of course, most of this art of the 90s would be worthless junk without the hype of the dealers and, even more important, the approval of the critics. And that's dollars, not Twombly's.
His is an eschatological art appropriating the master meanings of life and the master languages of art to reassert the sense of hurt and loss that evades both.
So simple when you think about it. They write in language that, to this viewer anyway, sounds important, but might as well be in Sanskrit, not Twombly's.
It's a standard assumption in the art world today that a work of art is anything an artist says it is. And an artist is somebody who calls himself an artist, and there are no other tests.
It all may make you believe in the wisdom of P.T. Barnum that there's a sucker born every minute.
They communicate not like facile appropriations, not like facile appropriations, but as a honed perfectionist idea of that discourse reduced to the irreducible. Then starting all over again, not like facile appropriations.
That's what the artists say, the dealers, and of course, the people who lay out good money. The people who buy this stuff are victims of a trashy hoax. That's what the artists say, the dealers, and of course, the people who lay out good money.
Oh, it's largely a case of the emperor's clothes.
Art?
Oh, I think you were lucky to have the word.
Oh, it's largely a case of the emperor's clothes.
But is it also a case of the emperor's clothes?
This work in particular shows something of the uncertainty in which artists find themselves today in the human sphere.
But they don't see it that way.
All of the above and even more unlikely stuff is art.
But they don't see it that way.
All of the above and even more unlikely stuff is art. All of the above and even more unlikely stuff is art. Green grass. The words, not the plant.
Oh, I think you were lucky to have the word.
Art?
Oh, I think you were lucky to have the word. And you might just have had a blank canvas. That's pretty commonplace now.
But beyond that, does it comment on society in some way, do you think?
I think it comments on things that we take for granted and that we really don't see.
When I look at almost all contemporary art, I see nothing. Nothing.
That is Robert Ryman. Ryman has reduced painting to its very essence. And a lot of people don't understand that, but...
I confess I'm among them on this one.
Well, some of his work has a little more texture in it. This one is a little flatter because he really has reduced it. He's a minimal artist, and...
I would say so. The dealers lust after the hypeable, and a few years ago, they struck pure gold when Jean-Michel Basquiat came on the scene. His work, giant, childishly wrought graffiti, sent the art world into spasm, and his work started selling for as much as $250,000 per graffito. Then in 1988, when his popularity was declining, his career was saved. He died of a drug overdose. He was officially declared genius last fall. You could do that?
Yeah, I could do better than that.
You could?
Yeah.
But that looks like what, some eggs? Eggs? Could you draw a better egg than that?
Yeah. I could draw even...
So it has this multiplicity of potential meanings. Doesn't mean any one of them
It may not mean a thing, but
Could not have said it better myself. And until the checks come in, the treasures wait in Sotheby's storeroom. It is, in a way, a little like your basement, the bits and pieces of a lifetime. Is that ladder for climbing, or is it for appreciating? And that faucet, we all have one of those, a bargain or junk soon to be consigned to the trash heap of art history.
Many of these artists, as I well know, live in great dread of waking up one morning and finding that it's all disappeared, that somebody blew the whistle and they're no longer going to be considered important.
All contemporary art is feces.
Now this intrigues me.